Yeah, just Sveno, Mick here from Svenson Mowing and Grounds Maintenance. Had a question about the drive mechanism, them sticking forward and back on these things. So if you go forward, the mower will stick. Mine started doing that in the last few days. I've lubricated up the shaft. As you can see, a little bit of motorcycle fluid has flicked around. Doesn't appear to be doing too much. So I think my rear end of this mower needs rebuilding, as in new corks, probably new friction plates here. That whole mechanism in there, that needs doing. I've got two mower shops that are really good on these things. So to whether I put any money after this into this, I don't know. I probably won't at the moment, because quite frankly I don't do enough mowing with this to probably put near $1,000 into the rear end of this mower at this point in time. Better off just leaving that money in the bank. Good mower, great mower, but what I was going to say is I've had a few people asking. So effectively what happens is you're driving forward, and you go in reverse and it won't disengage. You did that. About all you can do, I'd say, if you get into that situation, is just take it. It's driving forward and you're taking your foot off, it's continued. Just give that a bloody flick. Get that moving as much as you can. I probably wouldn't suggest too much to do around here, because really that's a technician's job. I'd have a crack at it, but I'm not saying that I need to be probably having a crack at that. If you flip the belt, this belt here, so on the front idler, which you probably can see up there, the belt, just because it's just a continuous belt that goes around the crankshaft of the engine, comes back through a series of idlers, and runs up around those two wheels, and then it that's how it works. So it goes around that front idler, and if the belt flips upside down on that front idler, so it's not running in the V, the belt's buggered. Had this one replaced probably 18 months ago. I use genuine Greenfield belts on that. They reckon they're better, and I haven't had any trouble. But this thing is sticking, so what I'm going to do, quickly show you what it does when it sticks, and probably what you can do. But realistically, unless you're really on the ball with these things and they start sticking, you're better off to get it straight into your dealer and get it fixed. And that could be that whole rear end. I think you're probably looking at about $700 to $800 all up. And I'm saying that, with the Rover, you're looking at about $1,000 for each drive motor. That's why I've done those videos, so it's important to have them serviced. There's a drive pump and motor and wheel motor, well, the whole hydro gear, it's all in one piece. So you're best off just to get them serviced every couple of hundred, every 250 hours, with under 100 for the first service. I got mine done at 75. I've got to remove them, but any of the mower shops worth their salt will tell you that they can service them. Some will say you can't, so you're better off probably to steer clear of the mower shops that say you can't service them, because you can. Rightio, for me, I won't put too much money into this, because this is only a standby, and really you probably don't need standby mowers sitting around. Got this. My mower shop, if I have a failure with this, they told me they'll loan me about a 3 or 4 step up Cub Cadet. So this is a Cub Cadet, just rebadged Rover, but this is when I bought it was $6,500 mower. They'll slip me up and give me a lend of a $13,500, $14,000 mower, but I probably don't need a lend of that, because I probably want one. So, but this mower is good. But hang on, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to do a quick Sveno Mick on this little fella here, this little Greenfield sticking. And if it's doing that, I'll lift my leg up when I'm driving forward, and you'll see. And if it's doing that, you're better off just to get into your Greenfield mechanics and just hunt people out, because these are starting to dwindle in numbers, I think. I don't know about the newer ones with a similar sort of drive system. I don't know about them, but these are, you see less and less and less of these now. People are either hanging on to them, or they're just wearing out and not fixing them. But I'll just show you what it's doing. So you can clearly see what's going on there. I'm going to drive forward, and you can just take your foot straight off the forward pedal. It's just a flip pedal. It just put weight on the back. It goes backwards. Put weight on here. It goes backwards just with your heel of your foot. Put weight on here and it goes forward. So what's happening is, I'd say that system's getting worn out and probably needs replacing. So I'm not going to give any advice at all on this, except the only advice is get it to a mower mechanic, your dealer, that knows Greenfields and knows the wear points. There's a few modifications, I think, in the latter model stuff. So I'd just say, I'm not going to do any advice because that sticking is dangerous. Unless you're right on the ball, you could end up straight into the fence or over the side of a bank. You could end up in all sorts of dramas. So I'm just going to leave it at that. In my opinion, I've done a bit of oiling up on that. And in my opinion, that mower needs to go into the dealer and have the drive system looked at and possibly be replaced. But I sort of think you're sort of looking at around anything from $600-700 to $1,000 Australian. That's in Australia to get that fixed. And if you got one of these overseas, I wouldn't even like to think what the freight is on bits and pieces. So that's why it's good to make mowers in your own country, which we do here. But a lot of the stuff is imported, so it probably doesn't help either there. But I'm going to leave it at that. This mower here, like I said, the story there before, I don't use it a lot, and I'll be using it less until I get it fixed, or I won't be using it all until I get it fixed. Sveno Mick from Svenson's Mowing and Grounds Maintenance. I hope that's helped you out today, and be nice to your fellow humans, because we're in pretty tough old times here with this COVID. So I'm just going to leave it at that. So Sveno Mick out.